Welcome to the Explainer. Today, we are taking a late-night drive into the rugged, forgotten history of U.S. Route 71. We're going to explore exactly how bypassed infrastructure and sudden isolation actually gave birth to some truly eerie local legends right in the heart of Arkansas.
So, let's start here. Have you ever been driving down a dark, completely empty road and suddenly realized you don't remember the last 5 miles? It's that hypnotic feeling where the rhythmic thud of your tires lulls your brain into a completely different state. Well, that incredibly relatable moment of losing time is exactly where our journey into the rain-slicked asphalt of the Boston Mountains begins today.
Section 1. The Rugged Route 71. Before the ghost stories, there was just the grueling physical reality of early American mountain travel. What started back in the 1800s as these deeply rutted Native American and stagecoach trails was eventually paved over in the 1920s. They used this incredibly sturdy Bates-style concrete. It became this vital, bustling artery for the entire state, right up until 1999. That's when the massive Interstate 49 bypass opened up, and almost overnight left much of this historic road entirely behind.
To really picture what drivers faced for decades, just imagine this number, 42. For 42 miles across the rugged terrain from Alma to Fayetteville, this notoriously steep, twisting road challenged the nerve of literally every single motorist who drove it. It was a perilous, white-knuckle journey through the Ozark National Forest, packed with treacherous switchbacks. Section 2. Bypassed by Progress.
The sheer visual contrast and engineering between these two eras is absolutely staggering. On one hand, you have old Route 71, dangerous, slow, hugging the mountainside with those winding switchbacks. And then, right next door basically, is the new Interstate 49. High speed, soaring high-span bridges, and the massive Bobby Hopper Tunnel, just slicing straight through the solid rock. When I-49 opened in 1999, historic Route 71 was suddenly completely cut off. It's like an oxbow lake that's been permanently separated from a rushing river.
Section 3. Arkansas's Eerie Ghost Towns.
This sudden abandonment triggered an immediate decay for the communities left behind on the mountain. Take a place like Rush. In 1917, Rush was a booming World War I zinc mining hub. We're talking thousands of workers, constant noise, total chaos. Today, it is completely deserted. Just silent, weathered wood ruins standing right in the middle of vibrant spring daffodils. It creates this striking visual contrast, a deeply eerie liminal space caught directly between what was and what is.
Which brings us to a really fascinating psychological concept known as the sensory vacuum. When a space goes from bustling commerce to absolute dead silence, it creates this psychological landscape. Without the roar of the modern world, our minds actually start to project our own anxieties onto the environment. In these bypassed ghost towns, the past feels so intensely present that history is almost palpable.
Section 4. The Phantom Off-Ramp.
And it's exactly within that eerie silence that our journey takes a turn into the darkness of local folklore. You've probably heard of highway hypnosis, right? Staring down the monotonous white fog line of Route 71 at night easily induces it. It's a state of conscious sleep where your body is mechanically driving the car, but your mind has completely drifted away. Triggered by the rhythmic repetition of those reflective lane markers flashing by, the boundary between physical reality and pure mental fatigue just dissolves.
Now, here is where things get genuinely weird. Official geological surveys show absolutely no such exit on Mount Gaylor. None. But mesmerized drivers swear they've seen it. Imagine a pristine, perfectly green highway sign suddenly emerging from the thick yellow mist, completely untainted by road crime. It reads simply, Exit 9B. Drivers report gliding their cars onto this impossibly dark asphalt, literally leaving the physical, mapped world behind them.
And down this phantom road, the legends say you'll encounter a vanishing passenger. Drivers report looking over and seeing a figure, illuminated only by the eerie green glow of their dashboard clock. She has pale skin, mid-1970s feathered hair, milky white eyes staring directly forward, and clothing completely damp with mountain mist. And the most chilling part? She supposedly carries the heavy, distinct scent of old, flooded zinc mines, exactly like the ones sitting empty in the ghost town of Rush.
Section 5. Folklore born from asphalt. But here's the thing. Our brains manufacture these highly specific nightmares in forgotten spaces all over the country. This isn't just an Arkansas phenomenon.
These spatial anomalies and ghostly apparitions are profound, nationwide psychological symptoms of bypassed infrastructure. Whether we're talking about the tunnel descent on Route 71, the unmapped mystery track out in the Mojave Desert, or the headless light in Massachusetts' Hoosac Tunnel, these legends always anchor themselves to a physical, rugged space that modern progress just left behind.
There's a fantastic quote from the research that really hits the nail on the head. It says, "These folkloric structures often absorb real-world tragedies, translating physical loss into supernatural warnings." Essentially, folklore acts as a regional coping mechanism. It is a way for local communities to process the very real, very physical dangers that these isolated roads present.
Because we have to remember, these ghost stories are anchored in true, devastating tragedies. Take the fatal crash on June 10, 2025, where 51-year-old Eric Daniel Henson was tragically killed in a head-on collision right on the winding curves of U.S. Highway 71. Real events like this permanently etch human grief into the asphalt. They fuel the local folklore, and in a strange way, they keep the memories of these dangerous old routes alive.
So, I'll leave you with this. The next time you find yourself totally alone on the misty, rain-slicked asphalt of some bypassed road, staring into the yellow fog, will you trust the signs your headlights reveal? As we leave you looking down that empty highway stretching out into the dark, ask yourself, what truly waits for you in the liminal spaces of America's forgotten routes?